Hi, I'm Borkon. Glad to have you here. Welcome back. And as you saw from that little funny time lapse, I've been doing some more things here between episodes. That was actually from a live stream I did just after the previous episode came out. Oh, and I should probably be wearing a helmet and not the skeleton horse head, because after I AFK'd here for a while, I have lots of these guys here. Skeleton horses. So now this is a skeleton horse farm, I guess. What we did on stream was that I built this crafter here as well. This is one of the most important crafters in the world. And as you can see, it's exactly the same as this one. And guess what it's crafting? The most important thing. Levers. One of these pronunciations is correct. But yeah, I just figured that, well, sometimes I use them, so why not just have an autocrafter for them, because all the materials for it are free. And this thing now needs a building. I also fixed this building a little bit. I now see what the actual problem is after I added these pillars. And the actual problem is, like I suspected, is that it's doing this whole pyramid thing. I think it could be fixed if I take the top floor and make it stick out again, and then this would stop looking entirely stupid. Now it's actually better. It's still not good, but I think it would look okay if I fix the top floor to not be like one block in, but one block out. So that would make sense. And also everything is now connected with request lines, and the cobblestone has been going fine for the levers. We still don't have a wood farm. But I have noticed one thing, and it is that when the sticks crafter is producing sticks, and this dropper is shooting out the sticks to be stored, well, here, and the sticks are coming in from the witch farm, that messes around with the hopper cooldown on the hopper, well, the filter that is supposed to take the sticks in. And I think we need to try to solve that. There are a couple of different things I had in mind to try to fix it. But the most important one is that all the sticks from the witch farm should be stored here. So basically in this chest here, I guess. Is that the right chest? I'm trying to remember. Yes, it is. This is the output chest for the sticks crafter. And it should also store all the sticks that are coming from the witch farm, so that there is only one source for sticks that all the other farms are going to be using. And that should definitely improve the problem of hopper cooldown in the filters when we're trying to get the sticks to the other farms. And this is something that I need to apply to all the farms. I don't know actually if any other ones have this problem. Probably not. It's probably just this one, the sticks that are causing an issue. So this is something that needs to be solved. And also, a thing I did on stream is to add these here, pulse extenders, to the mechanism that is disabling the farm. Because especially, not was it this one? Yes, the torch crafter, it was getting redstone quite, well, irregularly, I would call it. Why is this completely filled? Oh yeah, this doesn't have any limiter. Like, all the farms are always taking in redstone as much as they can, and this is by design because I don't want to turn off the witch farms. Maybe in the future I should, but right now I don't think it makes any sense. The problem with redstone was that this thing was eating redstone faster than the redstone was coming in, so we often ended up in a situation where the crafting dropper, or the dropper that is shooting things into the crafting dropper, had like 41 redstone, so it started the cycle and then it disabled itself. And the way it disables itself is that it powers this piston, but this piston has two purposes. So one purpose is to disable the farm, but the way it disables the farm is that this piston starts a new cycle. So at the end of the crafting cycle, we extend this piston, and then when it retracts, this observer then powers this block and it starts a new crafting cycle. The problem was that we extend this piston for as long as the machine should be disabled. And the problem with that is that if enough materials come in to re-enable the farm, the piston will retract and it will start a new crafting cycle before the previous one finishes. So I added a pulse extender here on stream. This one has one as well. I don't think this one... No, this one didn't need it, but I think I added... no. There are still a few ones that have, fix me, spam problem. Most of the autocrafters don't have this problem, so they haven't run into this issue, but the torch crafter was obviously broken when this started happening. I need to fix these two, and I'm pretty sure... Where's the button? There's the button. The ones in here got fixed. And yes, I have added a door. I have finally added the door to this building. There's still one building here without the door. I don't remember which ones. I think... Oh, yeah, it was this one. Oh, and this is absolutely super painful, completely in the way. And I had to move this thing. It's tight here. I should have thought about this issue before I built everything in. But now everything is working fine. All the request lines that need to be in are in. This thing needs a building, and we can move on with the next projects in here. But before we do any of that, I have decided that today is the day. Today is the day today I call the episode today. It's more like a week, but this week / today is the day / week when I build the wood farm no matter what. And the decision is simple. I will spend as much time as it takes to finish the design I'm working on right now. And if that fails, I will just build the same farm I have in my base or my base island. Because this is unacceptable. This is... Look at how many things are already using the request line for wood. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 things. 5 things need wood, and many more things will need wood soon, so there is no excuse anymore. I have to have a wood farm, and I have a semi-working design. I have already thrown away 8 different designs, and if everything else fails, I will just build the one I have in my base, because, well, that one is working. Sure, it is using TNT duping, and one of the problems is that I'm trying to be smart with the TNT in the new designs and kind of failing, and yeah, it just has to be done. So everything else will have to wait. We're making wood today. So yeah, this is, I wanted to say the final version. This is definitely not the final version of this machine, but this is the version I'm gonna build. Can someone at some point in the future remind me to not do promises about, oh, I'm gonna build this machine in the intro to the episodes? Because, yeah, this, as you can see on all the machines here, this has taken me a while. And I'll be very honest, some of those I just placed like blueprint snapshots that I took. I have 17 blueprint snapshots. I haven't pasted all of them in here because I use the blueprints as kind of backups because, well, you can see that there are some things happening down here with holes in, even though it's creative, and most of the testing I'm doing is with the no block explosion damage, no explosion block, no... There is a carpet mod setting that makes TNT not blow out blocks, so you can do testing on timings and stuff. But some of the testing I, of course, have to do Well, live with blowy uppy TNTs, and I think where is that one? This one blew itself up. I, I don't know why, but some TNT got loose. There's some damage here. It's not a simple process to design a machine that blows things up. But yeah, let's see this one in action. And actually, I should cheat a little bit, because otherwise it takes a lot of time. Sometimes it takes a lot of time for this thing to grow a mushroom here, and that's just how it works. So let's speed it up. I turn it on. Oh, a boring tree ended up here, but this is what's happening. As you can see, boom. And yes, the TNT is supposed to be pushed there at the last moment, even though that looks very precarious. Oh, and yeah, now I have TNT without block damage, so sorry about this. I have to disable the machine. It's not possible to disable the machine. It has to finish a cycle, otherwise it would get unstable. So as you can see, what's happening here? This is a magic bar of ancient debris with sticky pistons. Oh no, it clogged itself up. We have a bug in this machine. Fortunately, this is not a critical problem and it survives this. Never mind. Let me explain how it works and I will debug this again. And yeah, so the ancient debris is on sticky pistons. We're gonna get to why there is a water here, because the water is actually kind of important. So we have sticky pistons like this, and we have ancient debris in front of them. I have no idea who invented this method. I've seen quite a few people use it, and nobody explained ever who had the original idea. So, well, I'm using a method that everybody else is using, but with my own twist, of course, because I am me, and I have to have a twist. And the twist here is that we do this. As you probably saw, and if not, we're going to look at it again. We push some of these blocks out, and the TNTs land here. So the TNT lands here, it blows up things, well, in front of it. It's not perfect because it always lands perfectly without sticking out over the edge, and I would prefer that it would stick out over the edge. But as you can see, it is not possible. It is absolutely perfectly placed in here. So there is a dispenser here. This is supposed to be a fence gate, and I don't understand why the fence gate sometimes blows up. It's not supposed to blow up, but it does, and I have no idea how and why. So yeah, the TNT falls down here from this dispenser. By the way, if there is a log here or some other block, the TNT still gets through, so I might just replace it with ancient debris and call it a day. But, well, maybe I want to debug this still. But yeah, the TNT lands first at the bottom here. It doesn't have an ancient debris to land on, it just lands on this log, because this log doesn't get pushed out. All the other logs that we would have here, like up to this far, and actually further, we're gonna get to that in a while, they get pushed out of the way. Every 4 blocks, we push out 2 blocks, and yes, it would be much better if we could push out just 1 block, but as far as I know, it is actually not possible. Because of quasi-connectivity, we will always push 2 blocks, and prove me wrong, please, because I would like to fix this. Unfortunately, this is not enough, and let me explain why. Explosion, no block damage. Let's disable explosion, no block damage. And to see why there is a problem here, and why there is water, let's build something like this. We need the TNT to be perfectly aligned before this works, and I hope that this is going to be correct. Yes, the TNT now lands perfectly, and it lands on the edge here. And that allows it to blow up blocks behind ancient debris. This drove me mad for weeks, and I abandoned this design of the machine because of this problem. It is absolutely maddening that this happens, but it does happen. So what we do instead, well, what we do to fix this, there is no instead here, it's just what, like, the workaround I use to fix this. Let's pull them back, and I add stair, not like that, stair, and a stair here, and just something to block the water, and we add water and water. And now there is water here. Like, in the final machine, I also block the water so it doesn't pour out because that causes issues. But, like, it doesn't matter right now. Now, we can do the same trick with the TNT. And hopefully no demo effect and it's just gonna work fine. Yeah, and now the pistons are protected. So that's why we have the water there. All these stairs have water in them. Oh, and I shouldn't have done that. Oh, they are so hard to put back. Anyway, yeah, and all of these versions are just fiddling with various parts of the machine. Like you can see here, I had just a redstone line going up, sending the signal up, but to make it more reliable and sane, I changed it to a bubble column. I removed the water from this here. The reason why there is water, this is from the original, very old design that I've been using. And the reason why there is water there is because, well, we can't really fit the hoppers everywhere here because we have mechanism just under here. So the bits that don't have hoppers under them don't have the chests or the ender chests, but have the crying obsidian here. So I changed that, rearranged everything so we can have this without water. This is just a bug fix or a horrible bug fix. It's a depressing bug fix. Unfortunately, the TNT doesn't reliably blow up the blocks in these 3 rows. It blows them up most of the time, but unfortunately, when you're designing something like this that is supposed to be running for days, most of the time is not adequate, because most of the time this will end up with a buildup of these blocks, and eventually we're gonna reach push limits, and then the whole machine will seize. Actually, the TNT can kind of, like, if this is the top block, so the TNT can land on top of that and blow it up. But I don't like that unreliability, because we also have a problem of pushing the blocks out from this thing here. So the cycle of the machine works like this. We spam this thing with 1 bone meal, that grows something. We hope is a mushroom, but we don't know if it's the mushroom, so we just spam it with bone meal a bunch of times. And at the end of the cycle, we just push whatever was there to the side so we can restart the cycle. But if it was a wood, then we go up to the blowy-uppy cycle. The problem is that, well, if there is a buildup of blocks here and the TNT starts landing up here rather than down here, then we might not be pushing these blocks out of the way fast enough, and we're gonna seize up here, seize up here, seize up here. So yeah, things need to be blown up reliably, and the most reliable way of just getting these blocks to get blown up, they get pushed in this direction, and then I just turn them around and push them back, and here they are reliably blown up. It's just like the interesting thing about this, even though it's kind of obvious when you think about how this thing works, is that the blocks here are less likely to get blown up than all other blocks. And this is because the column in here is always filled in, and so any blocks out here are always shielded for at least 1 explosion, and yeah, that doesn't really work. So the design now works. If you want a more accurate description of exactly how this works, other than this improvised thing that I'm doing right now, you will have to wait for the full guide, if I ever publish a guide. This is unfortunately not a very good design. And the reason why it's not a good design is because it's not bone meal positive. I am 90% sure that no design that uses this clever mechanic can be bone meal positive, because we are not blowing these blocks up. If we blew these blocks up reliably, we can then send them into the composters, because of course we have some composters here, and that would probably give us enough bone meal for this machine to feed itself. Unfortunately also, well, the blocks here, I mean the ancient debris, that's where the warped warts should grow. And also the waterlogged stairs, that's where we would get a lot of the bone meal from. And also we need this for the water to not pour out when we extend the ancient debris here, because if the water pours out, it protects blocks from being blown up. So we are unfortunately taking a lot of space from where the wart and the shroomlights would grow. That reduces the amount of bone meal this thing produces. But that's not a bad thing. That just gives me an excuse To build more farms in the redstone factory, yeah, we're gonna need a bone meal farm there, because of course we will need one. You have to have a bone meal farm in your redstone factory. Anyway, enough babbling about this thing. I'm babbling a lot about this because I have nothing else to show for the episode today, because I spent the entire week doing this. So, let me build this. Let's see if it survives more than 5 hours, because currently the record, this is the best machine, because around the time of, I think, when I reached this one, I went from improving the machine to just making sure that it doesn't blow up. And this survived 5 hours, so maybe we're good to go. I have to build it. Let's go. Well, it is built, and I knew that this would be a problem, and I don't know what to do about it, to be honest, because we are in a very good perimeter. Everything is spawn-proof, so we are always below mob cap everywhere. Well, actually, I'm probably too close to the wall now, so we might be getting the mob cap up. But if I'm in the proper AFK spot there, if there's anything that is spawnable, things will spawn on it. So the crying obsidian is nice, and also let me get into free cam because I don't want to get too close to that creeper, even though everything here is supposed to blow up, but it's supposed to blow up in the correct places, not the incorrect places. Hello, Mr. Creeper. In free cam, you don't know that I'm here. Anyway, the ender chests give off light, the crying obsidian gives off some light, so things shouldn't spawn on them, but yeah, it's not neverwarts, the warped warts, the funniest word to try to say correctly, they are spawnable. And so are the logs, so I need to light this up, but unfortunately we don't have any light blocks, well, other than the crying obsidian, that give off strong enough light and are blast proof. I have no idea how to do this. Maybe I should waterlog some lanterns, but that might not be a too terrible idea. Put a row of waterlogged lanterns here, or something like that. I don't know how to deal with that. I have lights everywhere here. This ring here of the shroom lights is because the trees grow high, and they will grow over here. As you might probably have seen in the creative world, this was completely overgrown, and that's just supposed to happen. I guess maybe a future version of this could be taller, although I don't think it is worth it. On the third hand, I'm not saving TNT anyway, so maybe I could do something about that. But yeah, the lights here prevent spawning on top of here, and that should work, but I have no idea how to prevent spawns here. This might actually just be a matter of hoping that everything in here blows up and doesn't cause any damage. The loot should... Oh no, the loot won't be fine, that's the problem. It will pollute the loot system, and eventually this hopper will fill up, and yeah, and nothing will work. I will have to think about how I can light this up, because that is actually a real problem. And you might not see what's going on here. I have already tested that the trees grow. I haven't put in the TNT yet. But guess what? Guess who has 2 thumbs and spent the last 4 hours making a new version of this? Yeah, this guy here. I don't have thumbs. But how can this expression work in Minecraft when you don't have thumbs? Anyway, yeah, instead of finishing building it here, I redesigned part of it. Not much. I just moved the tree. You might, I don't know if you remember, maybe it wasn't very clear because I kind of just improvised that part, but the tree was growing. Is the creeper here? I think the creeper despawned. I hope the creeper despawned. Most of this can blow up. I can blow up. It's fine here. But the tree was growing from this block and up. And first I moved it 3 blocks because I was thinking, oh, I can catch all this stuff here as well. But then the blowy upping wasn't really reliable, so I moved it back 1 block, and it was still not very reliable, and the blowy upping is still not particularly good, but it's almost good enough. And yeah, I also added more rows of this just in case, just to be safe, that in case any blocks don't get blown up regularly, we can push them back in here. Also, remember what I said in the previous episode? I think it was the previous episode about this water stream being too high for everything. Well, it's not high enough for this thing. So I'm not gonna raise it because that would make the buildings even higher. I will probably just lower it to the highest farm when most of the things are built here. And yeah, to get TNT into this thing will require some, I guess, dropper elevators. Shouldn't be too hard. But I need to get the TNT in here, other than manually, because now it will be manually. And we will make a test run. Everything seems fine. I have verified that things grow. The sequence seems right. Maybe I should have tested this with snowballs instead of TNT. That scared me, but that was just the skeleton horse. I need to get rid of them because they're probably causing some lag here. It's not as if I have a problem with lag from hoppers, right? So many exposed hoppers. Yeah, mumbling because I don't want to push the button, but we have to. And I think I need to get into free cam. Yes, I need to get into free cam so we can see what's going on. Unfortunately, it sometimes takes a while for the trees to grow. Sometimes they grow so often that this was actually an issue with getting the exact timing. Oh, something happened. That doesn't seem right. The timings are completely off. I don't know what's going on, but this was not right. Uh-oh. This looked better. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I will have to debug this. I will have to see if anything got blown up, but I don't think so. Everything seems actually kind of fine. Did we get any items into this thing? Oh, I can hear the composters running, so that's good. Oh yeah, all these are almost populated. I think it was supposed to be those. Nothing is in this hopper, so no buildup of unnecessary stuff. And we should have gotten a few logs. Probably not many. No, I put some here manually as well. So yeah, this might actually be working. And then we are already getting the unnecessary blocks, of course, because that always happens. Maybe this is looking good, maybe it's not looking good, and I will have to debug it. But that will have to happen on the stream, which will be, well, after this episode comes out at 7 o'clock. Wait, no, it's not. It's 6 o'clock UTC, 8 o'clock Central European summertime, because it's summertime, so the announcement has to change. It will be on twitch.tv/Borkon_live. I hope to see you there. I will be connecting all the lines. I will be connecting the TNT, building the item elevators for the TNT, and maybe even doing something about the bone meal farm that this thing will need. We'll see what we're gonna do during the stream. But yeah, as has recently often happened, I rushed this episode at the end. Not because I rushed it, but because I kept redesigning things at the last second, and I keep doing this in the recent weeks, and I don't know why, but it's happening, so we will have to finish things on the stream. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you enjoyed, please subscribe. That would help me, and I think I just hit 4,000 subscribers, which is great. You guys are great. You're helping me grow this channel, which is amazing, and I hope to grow to 10,000 and 100,000 and a million and 100 million. No, that's not gonna happen, but yeah, see you at the stream. Thanks for watching, and have a good... I wanted to say blasting, but I don't have any TNT. Blasting anyway. Bye.